Counter Punch Boxing. Hello, hello, YouTube. We meet again. How you doing out there in YouTube land? Okay, look, I got another video coming out too, actually. I keep telling you guys, but the time, I just don't have the time. The updated Canelo PED video, it's a good one. You can't miss it. Also, we did a Q&A. You guys asked a ton of questions, and I'm going to answer them tonight or tomorrow. Just got home, and I wanted to make this video the other day, so I want to throw it out there real quick. Just a quick one. Look, it's like we all kind of felt the sting, or felt the burn rather, of the positive PED Canelo test. The clenbuterol. I don't need to backtrack. You know the story. Unless you're living under a rock, you know the story, right? But my question is, what does Gennady Golovkin think about it, right? It's like, we're fans and we're, freaking out over this. The whole boxing world's freaking out over it. It's everywhere. HBO, ESPN, it's everywhere. Everywhere I go, people are talking about it. And by the way, note the healthy food Canelo is eating. So look, let me just make a few points. Canelo Alvarez, okay, look, in his training camp, you can go back and watch any HBO 24/7 or whatever, and the way they prepare his meals, it's a science, okay? They don't just run down to the taco truck or run down to some, takeout place and get a steak or whatever. And we all know, we know Chepo. He was a chef before he was Canelo's trainer. So look, these guys are basically food experts. They've got to be 110% aware of the issues in Mexico with contaminated beef, right? You got to be, especially, it is your responsibility as a boxer, as a professional, if you're being tested through VADA. You got to take those precautions. You can't, everything you put in your body is tested, right? Think about it. Look, if I'm a boxer, I know VADA's, you're going to test me, 20 whatever times before I fight, before, during, and after. I'm going to be very careful about what I put in my body. Right here on one of the episodes, food is very important during the training because it gives you strength. They're talking about in all of the pre-fight videos about how important the food is, the preparation, the selection. Okay, the type of food, the chicken, the beef, the fish, and like I said, Chepo being a butcher, he's a professional at this. He knows, he's well aware of the problems in Mexico. And I just have a hard time believing they would get any contaminated, beef. I would think they would go organic or through a trusted, vendor or whatever, right? Omaha Steaks or something like that. I'm sure, like I said, these guys have nutritionalists, chefs, the whole 9 yards. So, but anyway, in my video, I'm going to break it all down for you guys. I'm going to tell you, the likelihood if you go to Mexico, what are the odds of you actually, ingesting clenbuterol via beef, right? Okay, things like that. But anyway. Now, this is kind of a little surprise, I guess. I was going to make a separate video for it, but like I said, I don't have the time. Rumors, okay, and I mentioned to you guys that I hesitated on even mentioning this or bringing it up. Where was the power? Gennady Golovkin. In the Gennady Golovkin Canelo, the original fight, where was the power? What happened to the body work? Golovkin didn't look quite like Golovkin. Was it a bad night, an off night? What was it? Was it Canelo running? Now, a friend of mine is connected directly to the camp. And he basically told me something, and I thought, okay, I believed him, but then I heard it again through a second, incredibly reliable source. Okay, so now I have two people connected that have told me the same thing, unprompted. Like I didn't, try to get or push them to get this info out. I just randomly, two different people told me the exact same thing that are trusted and connected. So. Again, and I hesitated even talking about it, but basically they're telling me that Gennady Golovkin is training with knee braces right now, in secret. That's why you don't see the media cameras. You don't see, all the footage like we're used to. that right now his knees are bad, basically. Therefore, he couldn't throw the power punches and work the body like he normally could. He couldn't cut the ring off like he normally could. He couldn't pressure Canelo like he normally would. Okay, and this is what I was told. Now, is it a rumor? I don't know. I mean, I'm not there. I don't know. I'm passing on secondhand information. Take it for what it's worth. I don't know, but it makes sense to me because, look, a fight of that magnitude. You have a guy that has delivered, devastating knockouts, from body shots, not work the body. What's going on? There's got to be something going on. It's kind of like when you see a fight and you can tell a boxer broke his hand. Like when they don't throw the right, it's like jab, jab, jab. They don't throw the right. They're just doing nothing but jabbing. And then finally the commentators will catch on and say, oh, well, maybe he broke his hand. So when I'm watching the original fight, I'm wondering, what is going on? There's something not right here. I still believe he won. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. He won. But so, like I said, I've been told that by two different people that I trust. Okay. Sergio Martinez, prime example. Go back and watch the Martinez-Cotto fight, and you'll see the similarities. Now, Martinez, he was way worse off than, a boxer with bad knees, okay? During the Julio Cesar Chavez fight, I believe he broke his, or damaged his knees, severely damaged his knee, had to go have surgery, and then again in the Martin Murray fight. And then ultimately retiring with Cotto. Now, the controversy, was it Freddie Roach's great training that got Cotto the victory, or was it the bad knees? I think it was both. I think it's more the bad knees because, and if you remember, Martinez had the knee braces and that kind of thing. And, he was just very limited to what he could do in the ring, kind of like Gennady Golovkin looked, so we'll see. Just keep that in mind. I don't know if it's true or not. That's why I didn't even want to bring it up, because I don't know if it's true. But like I said, what does Gennady Golovkin have to say about and I've been waiting to hear it. And finally, I found an article where he was interviewed, and basically he's very irritated and vocal about the situation. He says, right here, my first reaction was really. Really? I was just like, really? Are you serious? Golovkin told ESPN. I know him. He's a good boxer. Maybe he's an extra boxer and not a regular guy. I believe that he doesn't need medicals or drugs or anything like that. But right now, when he tests positive, it's terrible for basically for the sport of boxing. Okay, I respect my sport because I love a clean sport. For me, this is not a laboratory. It's natural stuff. If you believe in natural stuff, you use medicals, it doesn't matter. Just meats and fruits, everything. But now he tests positive, and it's just crazy, okay? Right here, they go on to say, I want a thorough investigation. And if VADA, the head of VADA, Margaret Goodman, which, by the way, I want to try to interview her, deems the clenbuterol levels too high and there should be no fight, then we'll go along with that, Abel Sanchez told the Times. But if she says it's within the limits of meat contamination, we'll abide by it. Right now, we don't know. From what I understand, it is within the limitations, from what I understand as of right now, but I don't know. Like I said, we'll break that down in my next video, and I'm waiting on that one last piece of information before I release that video because I want to maintain my credibility. I want to get it right. Okay, now, this doesn't matter for me what kind of medicals he tests positive. That's it. Golovkin told ESPN, I believe for the commission, there are only two answers, yes or no, positive or not positive. That's it. It doesn't matter. That's how me personally, I look at it like that too. It's either left or right, up or down, yes or no. And right now it's a positive. So it remains uncertain how the failed test of Alvarez 27 will affect the fight and whether, he will be disciplined in any form. Sanchez echoed the statement of Team Golovkin on Wednesday, but hoping the right measures are taken as quickly as possible. Now, right here, typically the mild-mannered Golovkin looked visibly annoyed. Okay, ask him and his team, Golovkin said. I think his team, the whole promotion, they are smart guys and not crazy, because before, a lot of athletes have had the same problems. I'm very sad because I'm a professional athlete and he's a professional athlete. Seriously, he and everybody understands the situation. If he tests positive, it's a problem. It's a big problem for boxing and us. Now, what he's saying is, Golden Boy and Canelo, they're not stupid. They know there is a risk of contaminated meat. So as I opened my video and said, Why would they do this? You've got, basically a professional chef, butcher, nutritionalist, and like, how could they let this happen? It's either, incompetence, negligence, carelessness, or he's guilty, right? You be the judge. That's the thing. We don't know. Okay, there are laws and commissions and anti-doping sanctions. Okay, he says, and we have to fulfill them, Golovkin said. They have to take action in the case, either disqualify him or deliver penalties. But if it's neglect, why do we need a commission? And why do we talk about test? When you get to this level, people should be watching the skills you muster from yourself, not wonder which laboratory you have. Basically, he's just trying to see, look, Golovkin is he is the definition of a clean boxer. If he ever popped dirty for anything, I mean, I'd be, to me, that'd be the biggest shock of boxing history, damn near. I mean, you know what I mean? Not literally, but I would be completely shocked if Golovkin ever tested positive, even on accident. Why? Because they watch what they give him, and they're aware of the risk you take by eating certain meats. Okay. So like I said, I don't want to get too deep into it. We'll break it down in the next video. We'll get there. But anyway, let me close right here. Okay, Sergio Martinez. I am a boxer. My knee is shattered. I'm 40 years old. I'm getting wrinkles and my hair is falling out, Martinez said via Martinez Daily. I've already made up my mind, but in a few weeks, he's saying, look, my knees are shattered. I'm old. My hair is turning gray. And it kind of reminds me of Gennady Golovkin, Now, go back, September, I believe I made this video, Canelo Alvarez, PEDs, no blood, only urine. You guys remember, he insisted on urine analysis over blood. I made a video about it. Go check it out. And I was looking at a current picture of Golovkin right here. Okay, hopefully you stuck with me this long, and he's looking older. He is now, looks a lot better in different pictures, but I noticed the knees. Okay. Now you look at the legs. To me, they don't look built. They don't look strong. They look weak. They look like bird legs, right? And he has the spandex wrapped around his knees. And from what I've been told, the spandex is basically, when he puts on the knee braces, it's more comfortable to have that spandex on. That's what I was told. Now, look, this could be like gossip of the century. I don't know, but I'm just sharing it with you guys because it answers a lot of questions. Like, where was the body work? Where was Golovkin? Although I think he won. I will repeat that until the day I die. But, it makes sense. You look at these current pictures, you look at the older pictures, the secretive training, there's very little footage, leading up to the original fight and absolutely no footage as of now, just pictures, from other boxers training, that kind of thing, and I've got a couple of new interviews that Golovkin gave, but I've noticed like there's always something around his knees now. So that I'm really believing this. So what do you guys think? I mean, I'd really love to hear your opinion, you guys. I know there's some brilliant boxing minded people out there. Sometimes I turn to you for answers. I mean, what do you think? Leave it below.